He turned and looked at me from across the courtyard, through torchlight and shadow, with the words of my betrayal still hanging in the air. He looked at me. This is the story of how I destroyed everything I swore I would protect. My name is Peter. He called me the Rock. I told him I would die before I denied him. I denied him 3 times before the night was over, and the worst part was not the rooster. It was his eyes. But to understand what happened, you need to know who I was before that night. I was the one who stepped off the boat. I was the one who drew a sword when they came for him. 3 years I walked beside him, watched water hold my weight, watched bread multiply in his hands, watched dead eyes open and take in light again. He renamed me, Peter, the Rock. He said it like he meant it, and I believed him, because what kind of man calls you something and doesn't mean it? I believed I was strong enough. I believed my devotion was deep enough. I was ready to fight. What I wasn't ready for was waiting. And that is where everything fell apart. They took him inside. I followed at a distance, far enough to feel safe, close enough to tell myself I was still loyal. The courtyard of the high priest was crowded. Servants, soldiers, people warming their hands against a charcoal fire. I stood before that fire and told myself I was brave for being there at all. A servant girl looked at me through the firelight. Her face was young, unbothered. She tilted her head and said it plainly. This man was with him. And something in me, some animal, cold and cornered, spoke before I could stop it. Woman, I don't know him. I heard myself say it. I actually heard myself. An hour passed, maybe longer. The fire burned lower. Another voice, a man this time, insisted I was one of them. Man, I am not. And then a third, someone who had seen me in the garden, who said my accent gave me away, who was certain. Man, I don't know what you're talking about. The words left my mouth, and the air received them and made them real, and in that same breath, a rooster split the darkness. Sharp, tearing the night open like something that could never be stitched closed. And he turned. From inside that room, through torchlight and shadow, and the noise of men who wanted him dead, he turned. And he looked at me. His face was not anger. It was not betrayal the way I would wear betrayal. He knew. He always knew. He had told me it would happen, and I rejected the telling. And now he was looking at me from inside his own suffering, and his eyes held something that broke me open like cracked stone. Before the rooster crows today, you will deny me 3 times. Every word fulfilled, every word mine. I went out. I did not walk. I did not run. I simply went, because there was nowhere in that courtyard I could stand anymore. And when I was outside in the cold dark, away from the fire, I wept, not quietly, not with dignity. I wept the way a man weeps when he finally meets himself honestly and does not like what he finds. I swore I would die for him. I could not even say his name. And yet that look, that is what stays with me. Not the rooster, not the servant girl, not my own voice saying words I cannot take back. His eyes. There was grief in them, yes, but there was something else. He already knew, and he called me anyway, not because I was the Rock, but because he is the kind of God who does not look away.